The entry of the United States into World War II. The United States entered World War II on December 7, 1941, following the Japanese attack on the Pearl Harbor Naval Base in Hawaii. The attack killed over 2,400 U.S. military personnel and wounded over 1,000. Before the Pearl Harbor attack, the U.S. was trying to stay out of the war. However, the Nazi Germany's aggression in Europe and Japan's expansionist policy in the Pacific were among the factors that dragged the U.S. into the war. Other factors that played a role in the U.S. entering the war include the desire to help the Allies. The U.S. did not want its allies, such as the United Kingdom and France, to be defeated by Nazi Germany. The Japanese threat in Asia-Pacific. Japan had invaded China before the Pearl Harbor attack and was preparing to attack the Philippines. Economic interests. The U.S. believed that helping the Allies win the war would also benefit its own economy. After the Pearl Harbor attack, the U.S. declared war on Japan, began sending military and economic aid to the Allies fighting Nazi Germany in Europe, began to rapidly expand its own army and navy. The entry of the U.S. into the war had a significant impact on its course. The U.S.'s military and economic power greatly contributed to the Allies' victory over Nazi Germany and Japan. After the war, the U.S. became the world's most powerful superpower, led the way in the establishment of the United Nations, assumed a leadership role in the Cold War against the Soviet Union. The entry of the United States into World War II was one of the most important events in world history. This event fundamentally changed the political and economic balance of the world. The impact of the war on the U.S. made the U.S. the world's most powerful superpower, helped to grow and develop the U.S. economy, led the U.S. to play a more active role internationally, contributed to the U.S. assuming a leadership role against the Soviet Union in the Cold War. Some of the problems the war created in the U.S., the cost of the war increased the U.S. national debt. Trauma and psychological problems were common among soldiers returning from the war. The war exacerbated the problems of racism and discrimination in the U.S. In conclusion, the entry of the United States into World War II was a very important event for world history and U.S. history. This event fundamentally changed the political and economic balance of the world. The war had both positive and negative effects on the U.S.